In August 2018, beauty YouTuber Laura Lee sat down in front of her couch and turned on her camera. Laura wore a white t-shirt with her hair pulled back. There was not a stitch of makeup on her usual full glam face. The creator was here to address a number of racist tweets that Laura had posted the years prior. These tweets were discovered by a former fan and had resurfaced all over Twitter, Reddit, and various blogs.
I want to talk to you guys in this video. It's been so long.
Laura said, in an octave we had never heard the beauty guru hit before. Laura cried on camera while talking about how difficult this time had been for her. She also asked people to stop harassing her family, which began when the tweets resurfaced. This 4-minute and 36-second video became an instant meme. Users mocked her melodramatic apology, calling her a bad actress and claiming that she was forcing tears for sympathy. This response prompted Laura to delete the video and upload a new, more composed video where she apologized for playing victim. Though her video was certainly not the first time an influencer had publicly apologized to their audience, it marked a notable shift in the general reception of this content. Laura's video spawned a whole subcategory of influencer apologies, videos and memes that were made in reaction or in response to them. While Laura's apology video was one of the biggest scandals to come out of 2018, we could have never anticipated the avalanche of influencer apology videos that would succeed it in the years to come. From Centennial World, I'm Lauren Meisner, and this is Infinite Scroll, a podcast about internet culture, the creator economy, and how social media is shaping Gen Z. Welcome back to Infinite Scroll, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for listening. Instead of reading reviews this week, I want to please encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube. I really want to grow over there, and we have Danny now who edits our videos, and they're so good. I would love if you guys would these episodes on YouTube, but I understand if you're more of a podcast girly, that's okay too. But if you could please subscribe, it will help us so much. I really want that channel to grow. I feel like it deserves some more recognition. So please subscribe. And also, please, of course, rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast if you don't already. If you haven't left a review, you can even just do a star rating, or you can comment on Spotify. Please sign up to our newsletter called Infinite Scroll. On Wednesdays, we send out a commentary article about a creator, trend, news, or drama. And on Friday, we round up the 5 biggest think pieces on the internet that week. Also, you can join our Geneva group, which is also called Infinite Scroll, where you can chat with other people who are obsessed with internet culture and creator drama and tea, and you can chat with me. I'm excited to bring you guys this episode. I feel like a deep dive into the different types of influencer apologies and the evolution of influencer apologies is much needed. It's an underrepresented topic in the creator economy and the reporting on creator economy. So I'm excited. It's a fun topic. I mean, this is not to bring, light to some of the very serious things that these influencers or creators have done to, be apologizing for, and totally not trying to take away from the hurt that they have caused. But I think there is some levity and some just also kind of bizarreness to how these creators apologize and what that genre, quote unquote, of content has become. So let's get into it. Over the past few years, influencer apologies have essentially become their own genre of content. The classic "I'm sorry" video is a regular feature on our feeds, but it wasn't always this way. As creators gained more followers and influence, the expectations around them shifted. We went from watching regular people share their daily lives and passions to seeing them command audiences of hundreds of thousands. With this massive platform comes a new level of responsibility. At least, that's how Gen Z interpreted it. At the same time as creators were gaining more mainstream appeal, Gen Z was maturing and beginning to see pop culture with a more critical eye. This, in turn, pushed this demographic to hold their favorite influencers to a higher standard, often to a standard that they might not even hold themselves to. While this might not always be the case, these expectations have become normalized, partly due to the parasocial relationships that many young internet users have developed with content creators. We have discussed parasocial relationships at length on this podcast, and we have seen how these interactions can both be good and bad. These connections can help alleviate loneliness, but they're also ripe for abuse and can sometimes impose unfair standards on creators as audiences view them as friend-like figures. Of course, this operates on a different level than mainstream celebrities. While many of us have developed parasocial relationships with traditional stars, creators are far more accessible. Influencers like Alex Earle and Emma Chamberlain have long shared intimate thoughts and details about their lives, deepening the intensity of parasocial relationships with this class of celebrity. Because of this, whenever an influencer messes up or behaves poorly, they're expected to address it and apologize. These apologies tend to come after internet users discover a past or recent transgression. The creator will then take to their social media platforms to address the situation and, of course, their followers' disappointment. While these apologies are often reactive, some creators have been proactive, essentially confessing before their audience demands it. Now, being quote-unquote forced to apologize isn't necessarily a bad thing. Accountability is crucial, especially as many creators have become role models for young people. But as Bettina McAlintal writes for Vice, YouTube apologies have become just another quote-unquote product at this point. Quote, with high-profile stars always selling something, the apology video is a necessary step of damage control. And if the scandal blows up enough, the apology video can be a way of reeling in new viewers too, she writes. So the apology video has become an opportunity, both as a career saver and as a tool to boost their likability. When a creator makes an apology video, they need to consider everything, from their audience to platform algorithms to their sponsors' interests. To stay relevant and advance their careers, content creators need to navigate all of these factors skillfully while attempting to keep their audience on side. This often results in a carefully calculated performance driven by the desire to maintain their public persona and the opportunities afforded to them. Having said that, the life cycle of the apology video doesn't end once it's been posted. As McAlintal adds, quote, after the apology video come the videos analyzing the apology, and then the response videos, and then the videos rounding up the best and worst apologies, e.g. YouTubers' apologies, but it's only the BS parts, and all the memes, e.g. apology videos as zodiac signs. More often than not, this content becomes more significant than the video itself, but that doesn't mean that the original apologies fade into obscurity. With that in mind, let's break down some of the different examples of influencer apologies, as well as some of the most iconic examples. Like I said before, this is not to make light of the hurt that some of these influencers have caused or of the painful moments that these creators experienced when, they were relating to the apology. This is really just a look for interest's sake into a very prominent part of the creator ecosystem. Before the iconic apology video, there were Notes app apologies. These text-driven apologies involved creators carefully crafting statements in the Notes app or on their Instagram stories, then sharing them across their social media platforms. As editorial assistant Arameta Diop writes for Vanity Fair, quote, the apologies generally come on a solid background with contrasting font, usually black and white. The apology is austere and minimal, text-driven, and doesn't feature any of the usual images that flood these feeds to show that this post is different. It's set apart, but still polished, so there's disruption, but not too much. Some social media users claim that the Notes app apology gained traction in 2016, after Taylor Swift accused Kanye West and Kim Kardashian of quote-unquote character assassination in a Notes statement. Many celebrities have followed suit, from Ariana Grande apologizing for licking a donut in 2015 to Logan Paul addressing his video in the suicide forest in 2018. Quote, an iPhone Notes apology disrupted the feed. It was a look all on its own, even once it became cliche, Diop says of the Notes app apology's popularity. Its proliferation online portrayed the offending, noted figure as raw, stripped down, just like us, really. By 2019, the New York Times had characterized the Notes app apology as the medium for, quote, how we apologize now. But less than 2 years later, Vanity Fair declared that the, quote, end of the iPhone Notes app apology era was upon us. Just as quickly as it rose to prominence, the Notes app apology faded away. As Evan Ross Katz contends for Paper Magazine, this may have come down to an overexposure of this format of apology where, quote, the ubiquity of the format and the way it's associated more with cobbling together thoughts hastily indicates an inherent thoughtlessness. But it may also have something to do with the rise of social media stars. This sanitized apology style clashed with the more authentic content that audiences were consuming and creators were posting. When influencers were writing passionately about their favorite beauty products or new clothing items, the Notes app apologies seemed insincere and inadequate. That said, many creators still use Notes app apologies, even though this practice is now more common among mainstream celebrities. Take Addison Rae, for instance. In July 2020, Addison received backlash when fans found out that she reposted a video in 2016 with a woman saying Black Lives Matter is a cult and that all lives matter. She apologized on social media with a statement, writing, quote, "I owe all of you an apology. 4 years ago, I reposted a video which included a woman sharing her thoughts on Black Lives Matter and all lives matter that I should not have. Because of my privilege, I didn't understand and wasn't educated enough on the social injustices facing the Black community. All lives cannot matter until Black lives do. The Black community was and continues to be oppressed and damaged by systemic racism." Scrolling through the comments on X, it's clear that the response was mixed. Many people thanked Addison for addressing the situation and being forthcoming with her mistakes, while others felt she didn't do enough, especially given the dynamics in the US at the time. With many social media users feeling like these Notes app apologies just aren't enough, it makes sense that many creators would opt for an apology video instead. So, let's break down the classic apology video. We have seen many different influencers apologize for a variety of reasons. Whether they are apologizing for racist comments in years past or hairy lipsticks, the apologies are always the same, with creators trying their hardest to project a feeling of sincerity. Scrolling through the subscriptions tab on YouTube, you are likely to see videos titled "My Apology" or "I'm Sorry," all typed in lowercase, with a creator looking serious in the thumbnail. When you click on the video, they're typically sitting in front of a plain background, looking directly at the camera as they seemingly bare their soul to the audience. Sometimes there are tears, sometimes there aren't. But one thing is for sure, the creator wants you to believe that they are genuinely sorry, and not just addressing the scandal because they're getting backlash for it. Cast your mind back to 2020, and the classic apology video was in its heyday. As we were all locked inside and the Black Lives Matter movement was gaining traction, social media users were looking to some of their favorite influencers to elevate the cause. With the conversation on race and the safety afforded to people with white privilege, viewers rightfully came down on creators who had made racist comments in the past. During this era, the likes of Dawson and Jeffree Star sat down and addressed their racist past. In early 2020, multiple resurfaced videos and photos began circulating of Shane engaging in racist jokes, blackface, sexualizing animals and minors, and saying the N-word. He was criticized for his close relationship with Jeffree Star, who had made numerous racist comments in previous years, and was also exposed as a key player in the attempt to ruin James Charles's career during the Bias Sister saga. Shane posted a video titled "Taking Accountability" on June 27, 2020, explaining that his behavior was largely the result of mental health struggles. After posting the video, he went silent online for almost a year. His apology video was not well received, with many viewers feeling as if Shane was making excuses and that he only addressed his past behavior because he got caught. They also criticized the apology video itself. Scrolling through the r/Shane Dawson subreddit, it's clear that many viewers felt like his video wasn't specific enough, and some people even claimed that he was trying to make excuses for his behavior. Now, Jeffree Star has had to apologize numerous times. In June 2020, he posted the now deleted video "Doing What's Right," where he apologized to James Charles and defended Shane Dawson. Earlier that year, he uploaded another apology video called "Responding to the Backlash Over My Cremated Palette." Before that, in June 2017, he shared a video titled "Racism," which was a response to multiple instances of past behavior, including racist jokes and slurs. Most of these videos were not well received, with many viewers criticizing Jeffree for similar reasons to Shane. While Jeffree did offer a direct apology in the 2017 video, viewers were unsure if he was genuine, questioning whether he was only apologizing for publicity purposes. As Taylor Lorenz writes for The Washington Post, quote, "His apology prompted a debate among YouTubers and fans about whether Star deserved deserved forgiveness, whether he had changed, and what to do with past material from YouTube celebrities who grew up in the public eye. While Shane and Jeffree have become the face of the classic apology video, some influencers have gotten creative, for a lack of a better word, with their apologies. Take Sienna Mae Gomez, for example. Back in 2021, the TikTok star was accused of sexually assaulting and verbally abusing her ex-boyfriend, Jack Wright. After taking some time off social media, she returned with a video titled "After a Month Away." The video concluded with Sienna dancing to Sam Smith's song Young. She did not address the allegations of sexual assault and verbal abuse directly. Viewers were extremely disappointed in this response. With the lyrics, quote, "I've done nothing wrong, I'm young," playing as Sienna danced at the end of the video, many believed that the song choice was the influencer's attempt at maintaining her innocence. Now, we can't talk about unconventional apology videos without mentioning
Toxic Gossip Train
by Colleen Ballinger. I'm sure we all remember exactly where we were when this insane video dropped, so we don't need to get into the details. Instead of showing any remorse after allegedly manipulating and grooming minors, Colleen returned to YouTube to shift the blame, questioning the honesty of the former fans who were bringing forth the accusations. To make matters worse, she did it through a song, a far cry from the traditional apology video. In the video, Colleen strummed a ukulele and sang her quote-unquote apology for the entire 10 minutes, making a mockery of the situation while she avoided taking accountability for the inappropriate relationships that she had fostered with these fans over the years. It's no surprise that the response to her video was overwhelmingly negative, with fans and accusers alike saying that the creator was making a mockery of a very serious situation and that, of course, it lacked accountability. That being said, Toxic Gossip Train has become Colleen's most viewed video. At the time of recording, it sits at 17 million views. And that brings us to the next category of apology video, which is pretty meta. Apologizing for an apology video. After the chaos that was Toxic Gossip Train, Colleen had to apologize again. But this time, it wasn't really about the allegations leveled against her, but rather it was about her behavior after the fact. At the top of the video titled Fall Vlog, Colleen took a couple of minutes to reflect on her response to the scandal.
Obviously, the last video that I posted on here, it's really embarrassing to say the least. I was being accused of some pretty awful things and I just was mad, and I should have handled that situation with maturity and empathy, but instead I just let my ego take over, and I'm really disappointed in myself.
She went on to admit that over the past 15 years of her career, there have been times when she was, quote, immature and inappropriate with her comedy. Colleen also finished the statement by saying she plans to put out positive content into the world and understands if her audience can't forgive her. The internet was still reluctant to forgive her, showing us just how much the initial reaction to a cancellation or a scandal matters. Given the backlash she received after Toxic Gossip Train, there was never going to be a way that she could prove that she was genuinely empathetic to the victims. David Dobrik had a similar experience. Back in 2021, David and the Vlog Squad found themselves in multiple serious scandals. It all started in February 2021 when former Vlog Squad member Seth Francois accused David of sexual assault after the YouTube star allegedly forced him to kiss 47-year-old Jason Nash against his will for a video. Things escalated when Kat 10 Barge's Insider article broke in March, alleging that David was complicit in Dom Zegliadis' sexual assault of a college student. And then the following month, it was revealed that Vlog Squad member Jeff Wittick, quote, almost died in an excavator stunt gone wrong. David's initial apology was a 2-minute and 30-second video titled Let's Talk and was posted to his podcast channel Views. David started by saying he's made over 600 videos over the years and he prides himself on making people happy with his content. At the time of his post, Views sat at 1.67 million subscribers. David's main channel, where the problematic content was posted, was at nearly 19 million subscribers. This decision was not received very well, and many social media users felt as if David was trying to limit the attention directed towards the situation. On top of this, many viewers called it a non-apology, noting that David refused to take accountability for the part he played in these allegations. As a result, David tried to save face again. He posted a 7-minute and 16-second apology video on his main channel the following week. In it, he follows the typical formula of the apology for an apology video, acknowledging where he went wrong initially and promising to do better. He said he, quote, fully believes the woman who came out against Dom, and although he originally got consent to post it, he should have never done so. David also addressed his problematic content, which included jokes about racism, ableism, sexism, and sexual assault.
It was cowardly of me to say in my last apology that I missed the mark, because it's fucking gross.
Many viewers acknowledged that this apology was better. Meanwhile, some noted that he was careful not to implicate himself, and others claimed that it was not the viewer's place to accept his apology, but rather the victim's. That being said, David has never been able to fully bounce back from the situation. Even though he continues to post content, mostly on Snapchat, many social media users can't look past his cancellation and subsequent attempts to rectify the situation. Interestingly, though, there are some creators who have been able to work past cancellations and problematic apology videos. One example is Tana Mongeau. Tana has had to issue countless apologies throughout her career. In 2020, however, she posted a video titled "A Long Overdue Apology," in which she talked about the many mistakes she's made and her prior lack of accountability.
I want to apologize from the bottom of my heart for being such a big part of cancel culture for the entirety of my career. I don't deserve a platform if I continue to act in such a gaslighting and irresponsible manner, and I'm so sorry for how long I've done that.
In the video, she specifically apologized for attending a party that broke social distancing rules, and she responded to accusations of racist microaggressions by YouTubers Colleen Ballinger and Simply Nessa. Hoping to showcase her commitment to changing her behavior, she also said that she planned to donate to the NAACP, Feeding America, and Pandemic of Love. Tana did receive backlash for the apology. Some users claimed that her delivery was robotic and the whole video was over-edited. That being said, she has managed to move past it, unlike Colleen and David. This could be put down to the nature of the scandal itself, where Tana's situation was way less publicized than Colleen and David's controversies. But there is something to be said about Tana's brand. There is no denying that Tana's career has been marked by conflict and cancellations, ranging from TanaCon, her controversial reality show, and several friendship feuds. Her problematic persona has come to define her brand, so much so that her podcast is literally called Cancelled. This has made Tana a polarizing figure in the digital world. Ironically, this very persona has helped her through various missteps throughout her career, whether facing cancellation or posting a questionable apology video. Due to her reputation, internet users didn't hold her to the same high standards as more unproblematic figures like David and Colleen, making her missteps seem less severe. The same applies to creators like Shane Dawson, who experienced a much more dramatic fall from grace than longtime controversial figures like Jeffree Star. And finally, we come to the non-apology video. This is exactly what it sounds like. When a creator chooses not to take a scandal seriously and instead makes light of the situation. Occasionally, this approach is acceptable, but of course, this depends on the nature of the controversy. However, considering how much influencers rely on audience support, it's quite bold of them to take this approach. Mikayla Nogueira is the perfect example of this situation. After Lashgate, when Mikayla angered fans with a shady review of the L'Oreal Telescopic Lift Washable Mascara, the TikTok star returned to the platform without addressing the situation. Instead of apologizing, Mikayla posted a Valentine's Day makeup tutorial.
I'm sure we all know why we've all gathered here today. It's the month of love, bitches!
The TikTok star went on to share a step-by-step makeup look. Mikayla's lack of response has received a mixed reception from her followers, with some praising the TikTok star for refusing to give into the drama. Others were disappointed in Mikayla for not taking the situation seriously, as misleading sponsorships are technically against the law. It's not entirely surprising that Mikayla didn't apologize. Since it was a paid opportunity, she probably couldn't address the situation without violating her contract. Moreover, considering the fast-paced nature of internet culture, influencers often anticipate that another scandal will soon emerge, diverting attention away from them. All in all, it's clear that influencer apologies don't usually go over well. But this begs the question, does a perfect apology actually exist? And what makes for a successful apology video? We can look to 3 separate examples of well-received apology videos to draw some conclusions. One video that garnered widespread acclaim was Jenna Marble's apology video in 2020. In this video, titled A Message, she announced her decision to take a break from her popular YouTube channel amid questions surrounding racially insensitive content in her past videos. While many creators have found themselves in similar situations to Jenna, Seth Cohen for Forbes highlights what set Jenna's apology apart. Quote, Marbles didn't just issue an apology, her brief video also addressed specific videos and explains why the videos demand an apology. In doing so, she did what many others fail to do, own her mistakes. While internet users had concerns about Jenna's past content, she didn't face nearly as much backlash as figures like Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star. However, her decision to take more proactive measures helped her appear more genuine and apologetic. Another apology that had a fairly positive reception was Joshua David Evans when he appeared as part of Swoop's documentary covering the allegations against Colleen Ballinger. Last year, Joshua sat down for a lengthy interview to address the part he played in his ex-wife's problematic career history. He was extremely forthcoming with Swoop as he spoke about his experience with Colleen and how he enabled her toxic and inappropriate relationship with fans. In addressing the part that he played in creating and enabling Colleen's inappropriate content, which is geared towards audiences aged 13 to 21, Joshua claimed he would, quote, chime in every now and then with his opinion and ask Colleen if she was sure she wanted to post certain videos. Joshua went on to explain how Colleen manipulated him into being, quote, very complicit over the course of their relationship. He also admitted that he agreed to participate in inappropriate videos because he knew it would help his own career as a creator. When pressed by Swoop about why Joshua felt it was okay to foster close relationships with Colleen's young fans, primarily via messaging apps, he said, quote, it felt innocent at the time, and that he had normalized these interactions in his mind because he believed he was simply going along for the ride. Quote, looking back on it, I would say, what the hell were you doing? Though internet users did have problems with the way he characterized the situation, they were proud of him for speaking out and believed this interview displayed true accountability. While many influencers have tried to be transparent about their mistakes, not all have been received positively. What set Joshua apart from other creators was that his actions didn't seem career-driven or like an attempt to exploit the situation. Joshua hasn't posted on YouTube in 2 years, so his response felt more like an effort to clear his name and validate the victims. Finally, another notable example of a well-regarded apology video was James Charles's No More Lies during the Bi-Sister scandal. In May 2019, James uploaded a follow-up to his original video, Tati. This new 42-minute video addressed every claim made by Tati and Jeffree Star against him, ranging from the Sugar Bear hair situation to allegations of manipulating a straight man's sexuality. Despite facing many allegations since then, his video was well received due to the level of detail that James provided and the evidence he presented, indicating a genuine concern for the situation, even though it of course did seem a little bit driven by his desire for clout. Nevertheless, the video helped restore James's reputation, at least at that time. All of this being said, it's worth noting that the 3 creators we've discussed are all white. While their apologies were well received, it's important to recognize that Black creators, especially Black women, are often held to higher standards. They often have to work twice as hard to receive half as much appreciation and acceptance when they find themselves at the center of a scandal. So, all of this leaves us with a couple of questions. In the era of cancel culture, can influencers effectively apologize? And can an influencer apology ever actually be sincere when so much is on the line for them? I think a common misconception about internet users, especially Gen Z, is that they never forgive. But this is not the truth. The internet loves when someone gives an effective apology and subsequently changes for the better. But where so many creators go wrong is step 1, the effective apology. To make an effective apology, I'm going to quote something from ZFeed. Quote, a good apology has 4 important elements, and they are non-negotiables. 1, acknowledge what hurt or harm caused. 2, take responsibility for the harm-causing actions. 3, express regret or remorse. And 4, offer to make amends in a tangible way. For public apologies, be specific about who has been harmed by what you've said or done and address it to them directly. It shows more ownership and feels more meaningful than making a blanket sorry statement. The thing is, we as followers of creators, we like to feel heard. So if we feel like we've helped make change in a person that we follow, that will go over well for a creator. But where a lot of creators go wrong is quite literally step 1. They don't properly address what they did wrong, and they don't properly explain why it was wrong and who they hurt. And that could partly be because they actually don't want to be apologizing. And they don't really think that they did anything wrong, and they don't really understand why everyone is so mad at them. On that note, can influencer apologies ever really be sincere when they have so much on the line? I would say in most instances, both yes and no. I think we as audiences, we need to be okay with the fact that if we get a good influencer apology, that also will have benefits to the creator and their career. Two things can be true, right? A creator can be genuinely sorry while also trying to save face and save their career. So in that case, I don't know if the comments about influencers just trying to save their careers, or the backlash around apology videos in general is always fair. But again, apologies and accepting apologies, that's all so subjective. Where I think we need to be careful, and I think internet users are very good at this, is identifying when somebody has a repeated pattern of behavior like Jeffree Star, and then comes on camera every few years and apologizes for that behavior and then keeps repeating it. I think that's safe to say that they are not sorry. So for all its flaws, one of the best things to come out of cancel culture is influencer apologies. Though attempting to hold creators accountable certainly can go overboard at times, the intention behind these attempts is rooted in good. Whether we want to believe that they're sincere or not, it's important that the people that we platform, the people that we give power to, the people that we pay millions of dollars to, it's important that they have someone to answer to. Infinite Scroll is a podcast written, produced, and presented by me, Lauren Meisner, for Centennial World. Additional research and reporting is by Annabelle Ben-David. Editing is by Danny Fennick. Thank you so much for listening. I love you guys, and I will talk to you next week. Bye.